Welcome to another edition of The Explainer. I am just absolutely thrilled to share today's story with you. We're diving into a fantastic, heartwarming little tale called Bip and the Truth-Telling Superpower. It's this beautifully structured narrative that breaks down exactly what happens inside of us when we make a mistake, why we're so tempted to hide it, and then that incredible, almost magical relief of just coming clean. And you know, whether you're 4 years old or 84, the mechanics of honesty work exactly the same way. So let's get right into it.
Okay, let's dive into this right away. Have you ever made a giant mess and just wanted to hide it forever? I mean, really think about it. You drop something, it shatters into a million pieces, and your very first instinct isn't to ask for help, is it? No, it's to frantically sweep it under the nearest rug. It's a completely universal feeling. So today, we're going to explore exactly why we feel that way and how we can overcome it by looking at the experiences of our two main characters.
Section 1. The Great Block Crash. Right. To understand the mistake, we first have to set the scene. Imagine a bright, colorful playroom. We've got Bip, a shiny little blue robot who just loves zooming around on his wheels. And we have his friend Barnaby, this adorable plush bear. Now, Barnaby has just proudly finished building a gigantic, wobbling tower out of colorful wooden blocks, his block kingdom. So first, Bip is zooming fast. He's super excited, calling himself the fastest robot in the room. He rushes over to help decorate the top of the tower, but he comes in way too fast. Then, the accidental swat. His little robot arm hits the base. Next, the inevitable result. Crash, clatter, thud. The massive tower collapses into a giant pile of wood pieces. Barnaby gasps, his plush ears droop right down in sadness. And finally, the panic. Bip is totally overwhelmed. His friend is sad, the tower is ruined, and Bip, he goes straight into hiding mode.
Bip starts kicking the blocks under a beanbag chair, whispering to himself, "If Barnaby doesn't see the blocks, then nothing happened. Right? Right?" It is the classic cover-up. Bip pastes on this wide, totally fake robotic smile. He starts whistling nervously. He just stands there in front of the empty space, pretending everything is perfectly fine. He actually tries to convince himself that if the evidence is hidden, the mistake just magically ceases to exist. But, as we all know, the mistake doesn't go away.
Section 2. The Heavy Secret. Now, the source material introduces a really brilliant concept here, the honesty meter. As Bip stands there trying to act natural, this bright red light starts flashing on his chest plate. A loud internal alarm goes beep, beep, beep. Bip's internal gears know that something is wrong. The narrator of our story explains that when we hide the truth, our inner machinery gets heavy and tangled. Bip is literally trying to cross his metal arms over his chest to hide this flashing red light. He doesn't want to get in trouble, but his own body is betraying his secret.
And the agitation really peaks when Barnaby walks back into the room. Barnaby looks around the empty floor, rubs his fuzzy eyes, and asks where his block kingdom went. He's just so confused and sad. And Bip? Well, Bip's honesty meter starts flashing even faster. Little cartoon oil drops of sweat appear on his forehead. He stutters and he blurts out, well, Barnaby, you see, magic gnomes did it. The classic fib. He doubles down on the lie because the panic of that moment is just way too overwhelming.
And this brilliantly illustrates the core lesson of the story. On one side, we have the heavy heart. Bip is clutching his metal chest, a dark, stormy cloud appears over his head, and he says his gears feel tight and heavy, that keeping a secret makes his tummy feel like it's full of spinning rocks. Let me ask you, have you ever felt that? You know, that terrible, heavy, knotted feeling in your stomach when you know you aren't telling the truth? It feels awful. Now compare that to the other side, the light heart, glowing green, floaty, full of cartoon hearts. The story is showing us in very physical terms that while it might seem easier in the moment to just lie, the physical and emotional cost of a heavy heart is absolutely not worth it.
Section 3. Activating honesty. So how exactly do we fix a heavy heart? Well, we need to remember that making mistakes is completely normal. It's hiding them that causes that heavy feeling. Our story gives us a very clear 3-step action plan. Step 1. Take a deep breath to calm down. Bip takes this big, exaggerated robotic breath, and immediately his flashing red warning light slows down. It shifts to a warm, gentle yellow. That simple act of pausing and breathing is absolutely crucial. Step 2. Uncover the hidden blocks. You have to reveal the mistake. Bip walks over to the beanbag chair and pulls the blocks right out into the open. And finally, step 3. Tell the honest truth to your friend. Bip's posture straightens up. He is officially ready to activate his honesty.
This brings us to the confession. Bip drops that fake smile, he looks right at Barnaby with a totally sincere expression and says, "Barnaby, I am so sorry. I zoomed by too fast and accidentally knocked your tower down, and I tried to hide the pieces because I was scared." Think about the bravery it takes to say those words out loud. He admits the mistake, he admits exactly how it happened, and most importantly, he admits why he lied, because he was scared. It is a perfect, honest apology.
Section 4. Building back better.
The payoff for Bip's bravery is immediate. Now, what's really interesting about this is, you might expect Barnaby to yell or get angry, right? But instead, Barnaby blinks in surprise, his fuzzy ears pop right back up, and that sad cloud just disappears. He smiles warmly, gives Bip a big plush hug, and says, "Thank you for telling the truth, Bip. Accidents happen. I was sad about my tower, but I'm glad you told me instead of keeping a secret." The power of the truth instantly bridges the gap between them.
So let's summarize what we've learned here about the power of the truth. The very moment Barnaby forgives him, Bip's warning light turns into a bright, happy green. Little cartoon hearts float up all around him. Telling the truth makes the heart feel light and floaty again. It completely cures that awful tummy ache of spinning rocks. But it goes way beyond just feeling better internally. Because Bip was honest, it actually helps the friends build a taller, cooler castle together. They sit down on the floor, Bip uses his robot arms to hand the blocks to Barnaby, and they rebuild. Ultimately, this proves that making mistakes isn't the end of the world. It's just how we learn. Telling the truth keeps your heart free and it keeps your friendship strong.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a question. When will you next use your truth-telling superpower? Because that's what honesty really is. It's a superpower that can banish dark clouds, untangle your inner gears, and help you build something even better with the people around you. The next time you make a giant mess, please don't sweep it under the beanbag chair. Take a deep breath, activate your honesty, and see just how floaty and light your heart can feel. Thanks so much for joining me today, and keep learning.